What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news for you concerning Alexander Povetkin. Povetkin has been cleared, and he is supposedly fighting on the undercard April 13th of Anthony Joshua. Now, his opponent is yet to be known. Of course, I'm going to throw around some names and some ideas and see how you guys like them. But just doing a little recap on Perfecto. Perfecto, this is only his second professional loss. Sure, he's 39 years old, but he did, give a good crack of the whip at Anthony Joshua. He gave him a good run for his money. He was able to get in mid-range and throw uppercuts and hooks to Anthony Joshua getting through his guard. So it was an exciting, interesting fight. Now, it wasn't as good as the Wilder-Ortiz fight. No, it wasn't. But it did make you question Anthony Joshua's vulnerability to get hit, especially from shorter, smaller guys, like the Mike Tyson-esque type of fighter. Also, the guy that's about that same height is Usyk. So that really is a good barometer of how Joshua will fight, how he will handle someone quick and fast like Usyk. Because Usyk, he's more skilled, not as big, but equally as skilled as someone like Perfecto. Perfecto is a dangerous guy. People say what they want about Perfecto, juicing and PED, user or whatever, but he wasn't juicing the night he fought Anthony Joshua and he made a good account of himself. And for those who don't know, taking drugs don't guarantee a win. I keep saying that. Fernando Vargas was juiced out of his ass fighting Oscar De La Hoya. Fernando Vargas had a six-pack. In the way he's built, he's like a Jaime Munguia built guy. He's not very muscular, okay? But that fight he was juiced up, he was buff, he was strong. His hooks were powerful, but he did not win, and he still got knocked out, okay? So that doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to win just because you're juicing. Not saying I care for it, not saying I condone it, but what I'm saying, it's not a guaranteed win. That's what I'm saying. If Perfecto did, the first, second, third, fourth round, I gave it to Perfecto because Perfecto was getting in the inside of Anthony Joshua and he buckled him and he had him thinking twice. Had he stayed mid-range, because he fought Anthony Joshua like Brian Jennings tried to fight Klitschko. Okay. And speaking of Klitschko, that was his first professional loss. And we relate that to another video that I was talking about with Klitschko. You know what I mean? He beat Perfecto too. So Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko are the only two people which are high-ranking heavyweights to beat Perfecto. Okay, no one else. And speaking of those potential fights, I would love to see him get him in there with Ortiz. You know what I mean? A southpaw. Both of these guys are very skilled. Both of these guys have fought the champs, lost by the champs. Why not match them up? I would be all for that. I'm waiting for Ortiz to get in there with someone that's worth a damn once again to see what he can do. I'm tired of people ducking these fighters. Perfecto, he should have fought Wilder. Wilder should have fought Perfecto, not pulled the shit that he pulled. So I think Perfecto needs all these fighters that are in the top 10 need an opportunity to show their craft, to show their skills. That's what it's about. It's not about one guy taking a fight with one dangerous opponent and then that dangerous opponent never gets seen again. Everyone else ducks that person or avoids that person, hiding behind their own ego or own agenda. It sucks. I'm tired of it, because these guys should be fighting each other, okay? Perfecto should be in there with a fighter that is at least in the top 10. I would love to see him fight Dillian White. That would be great. But Dillian White is going for, the gusto. He's going for Joshua, So who else would fight Perfecto? Luis Ortiz, Usyk would be a good fight. I don't think I would want to put Usyk in there with someone like Perfecto real quick, though, me personally. Miller and Perfecto would be great because that's an undefeated fighter. And, of course, if you want to crack and you're not rushing anything, right? You're not rushing to get in there with Joshua. So, you could at least fight the guys that Joshua beat to even prove your legitimacy for that claim. All right. So that would be a good fight. Miller and Povetkin would be a very good fight. But I am excited about it because Povetkin didn't decide to retire. He decided to stay in the sport of boxing because of the account, again, he put up against Joshua. The Klitschko fight was boring as hell. It was a long, drawn-out, boring snooze fest. See, I'm yawning just thinking about it. It sucks. So it sucked. Past tense. So but the Anthony Joshua Perfecto fight was an exciting fight, and it did do good numbers, so you can't say Perfecto, and I like Perfecto, he's not a guy that talks a lot. He's not, you know what I mean? He looks focused, if anything, and I'd love to see him in there with Wilder. I would like to see that fight, so there's a lot of, Wilder will never ever fight on an undercard of Joshua, but for shits and giggles, I would love to see it because they have unfinished business. You know what I mean? And they could hype that because, Deontay's a semi-hype guy. So he can hype the fact that, yeah, I was supposed to got you, years ago. So, he gave Ortiz a shot, right, for some banned substance shit, right? So he should equally give Povetkin that same thing. The only reason I think, along with the WBC made him, because that's the real reason. If it was another reason, would be because Luis Ortiz didn't fight Joshua. That would be the only reason I think they picked it, besides them making the WBC mandating Deontay Wilder to fight him. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for the day when Deontay fights his own. He picks his fighters to fight that are dangerous, like Canelo did Lara. But enough about Deontay. Povetkin is a dangerous guy. He's a good fighter. He's a gold Olympian. He has 2 losses and not the end of the world. And I think this particular fight should get him back into the groove or keep him where he's at. One of the two. Okay. So I look forward to it, man. I look forward to Povetkin getting back into the ring to see what he can do. See if he can bounce back after the first knockout loss, because this is the first knockout loss that he's ever done. And, let's see what his heart's made out of, because this time can show people what he's made out of. All natural this time, though, right? So anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Povetkin coming back to the sport of boxing. Pick your opponent. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.